Hey there, how you doing? I don't know whether this will be part of a video or a standalone video, so we'll see. This was the Ask Me Anything session that I asked you guys to send in questions for, so I think I'm gonna limit it to how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 to 12 questions. I'll see how many I can get through. So this was a stick I put up some time back on Instagram, and some questions were sent in. Let's see how many I'm able to answer. Don't ask me why I'm dolled up. You know what? Quarantine is teaching us things. We can also get dolled up when we're in the house. And I really am falling in love so much, falling back in love with content creation. And thank you for responding so well to my commentary videos, which I'm doing more of with 5 things on my mind. Let's just get into it, right? So let's see. The first question is, can I get my first time book on Amazon? Not yet. That's something that I was working towards before COVID-19. I'm hoping that once all this is over, then we can make plans to have it available on Amazon. So look out for that. How do you manage? I'm on meds. I think that was a question somebody asked around, how are you managing with everything that's happening? With anxiety, I think, because I've mentioned many times, and I'm sure a lot of you now are like, okay, already, just give us the story time about anxiety. It's coming. It's not a very easy story for me to tell. It's something that I'm still dealing with. There's a lot of pain and trauma that I'm still dealing with. So when I'm ready to, I'll link it all to my anxiety story. So how do I manage? I have coping tools. I have access to therapy, which I don't take for granted. I know a lot of people don't. And so through that, I'm able to get coping mechanisms, and then I surround myself with really positive energy as much as I can. In isolation, I'm with, people I love, and it just makes it easier. And then sometimes I remove myself from what's happening, and I realize I'm blessed, more blessed than many. So those are some of the ways I cope. Somebody asked, how many kids do you have? You follow me on IG, na unaniuliza hizo swali. Why? I have 2 children, Huru and Marley, angels, my rocks, my everything. The guys that just keep me going, love them to bits. So I have 2 boys. One day, tackle sexual harassment in the workplace and what to do to handle it. That's so deep and intense. And there is a Dear Law campaign that Karen Lucas was running, which was getting people to send in their stories around sexual harassment, especially women in the legal field. And so I know that it was supposed to come to life on stage at some point, but with everything that's happening, things are being reviewed. But allow me to see if I can get a sit down with maybe Kaz or one other person who can take us through that conversation, or we can have it jointly, because I feel like almost all of us have faced it in one way or another. And so it's about, how do we stop this culture? Because that's more important than, addressing sexual harassment. We need to end the culture so that we don't have these issues come up. So give me some time to see if I can figure that out, but thank you so much for that. Somebody asked here, do you ever feel as if you are not worth it? Like, even if you try, no matter how much you try to be happy for yourself, you just can't be. Aww. Stephanie, I'm sorry you feel that way. Yes, of course I do. By the way, I think I'll end this video with a couple of things you need to know about me. So let's get through the questions, and then I'll explain why. But Stephanie, I think we all go through it, each and every one of us. There isn't a person who doesn't have a moment of self-doubt and trying to fight for their happiness, and they're struggling to. What's really important to you right now? Especially, I'm assuming, Stephanie, maybe you're isolated, you're alone right now with everything that's happening. What is that thing that's keeping you going? What is important to you? Remember, if you have a roof over your head, if you have food on your table, and clothes on your body, right now, that's the biggest blessing. It's the basics, the basics that a lot of people don't have during this pandemic. What are you grateful for? Can you name 1 or 2 things you're grateful for every single day? And through that, I'm hoping you'll be able to navigate towards what are the things that keep you going. I'm sorry you're in a funk, and I really hope you get better. We all go through having a funk, for sure. So I'm not going to put that past you. Chebet is asking, has this whole thing brought us closer to God than before? Powerful question. Yes. For some people, it's driving them further away. For some people, it's giving them a new lease on life. Honestly, COVID-19 is affecting everyone in very, very, very different ways. It's definitely an opportunity to introspect. Even though I appreciate that for some people, that may even be a luxury because they're trying to figure out how to make it through COVID-19. And it's been weighing on me so much. I don't know, it just irks me that that's not a priority, how to cushion people who need it the most. But that said, it's going to reintroduce us to ourselves. If nothing else, that is what this pandemic will do, because we have been forced to stay put, to stand still. You can't see friends, you can't go anywhere. Isn't it just incredibly mind-blowing that in a day and age when we're a global village, hopping from a house to another, somebody's place, a school, a job, a country, that we're forced to stand still? And that has to mean something. And as much as there's a lot of trauma and sadness around it, which we're all carrying, there's been a lot of death, which is so horrible, and the numbers are rising. There's also that element of what can I learn from all this? And so I'm hoping it's bringing people closer to God. It's definitely bringing me closer to God. I feel like I have that struggle of a Christian trying to have a really good relationship with God, but feeling like I fall short of his expectations of me all the time. Am I a good enough mother? Am I good at what I do? Am I built for this? Whatever doubts I have, sometimes I take it out on God, but then I remember that he's saying, okay, vent, but I'm here, and that gives me comfort. So I'm a Christian in progress, which I found peace with. Deliverance sometimes can be over a lifetime. And so that's my journey with COVID-19. A lot of introspection. I'm a creature of introspection. I literally said that same line in one of the vlogs I put up not too long ago. I am naturally a thinker. I'm a homebody. I tend to be able to sit still and think things through. And so, yeah, I hope I don't feel like I'm rushing through this. I try and take advantage of when Huru and Marley are resting to get my content done. So I love that question, Chabet, and I think there'll be many more like it in days to come. Somebody's asking, how can a woman with some little income start saving her cash? Very good question. I'm not a finance expert, but I am a woman. I'm a mother, and every cent counts, I think, for us, especially for women, because you know, the system and the way it's set up in terms of accessing funding, whether it's to start a business or for whatever reason, it's still very patriarchal in that there's a lot of red tape and a lot of authority that needs to come from one person or another. It's changing. I'll give it that. It is definitely changing. So start with the little that you have. And because I don't want to go too deep into something that I'm not an expert at, I'll answer it in two ways. One, what do I do? Right now, I'm big on saving. So whatever I don't need, I just put in savings. I close my eyes and put it in savings. I have done my fair bit of investments. I think I could do more, but for what I've done so far, I'm okay. I need to do more. I guess in the years to come and after everything's over, the rest goes to savings. And then I spend what I need, and I put money away in an emergency fund, in whether it's education, insurance, and things that are very, very important. I could do better. I really am trying to practice on just getting better at how I spend money, but I have improved tenfold. I feel like right now I'm pretty disciplined, and that makes me happy. The other way I'll answer it is please visit Centonomy. Check out their page on Facebook and read more about the power of 5,000 shillings, for example, to jumpstart a business or to lead you into a course of wealth just with 5,000 shillings. Please, 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 if you can. I'm going to link it again. I have before, I will link it again. Washeke, there's another shout out to you. Thank you for changing so many lives with what you're doing. Yeah, I don't have any more. I'm so sorry. But here's what I'm going to do though, right now. I want to do something called a few things that you probably didn't know about me. I guess this video is more like a catch up and a get to know me better in a way that I'm avoiding you getting to know me too well. Blame that on my inability to fully let people in sometimes. It's a work in progress. I feel like that's going to be a life journey. I don't trust as easily. I think I mean well. I've done a lot of soul searching enough to know that I do not wake up with the intention to be malicious or mean. And that's a good thing. but I am becoming very protective of my energy, highly protective of my energy. So no bullshit, I don't like it. So speaking of, one of the few things that you should know about me is that I cuss because I'm human and sometimes I get really pissed off. And I think I've had issues in the past of trying to appear too well put together and too sanitized. But maybe it wasn't all for the wrong reasons. It could have just been a knee-jerk from being a news anchor and this TV personality, TV persona who needed to keep up appearances. I loved my job. It's something that I feel I'll definitely go back to one day. I might have muddled it with the need to be perfect, which you don't have to be. And a lot of the incredible anchors we have, not just in Kenya, but around the world, do not necessarily strive for perfection. So this is really me talking about myself. And trying to unlearn that has taken a while because you get used to a certain level of what you're known for or how you are perceived, that it becomes all you're trying to chase when essentially you're running away from yourself. So I cuss, I'm not perfect. I know we know that. I know, girl. I know none of us is perfect, but really, if you're looking to me to, I don't know, on a pedestal, I'll tell you now to drop it. I don't want you to have a version of me in your head that's this almighty person or this person who can't do wrong. Heck no. I've gotten so much wrong. Sorry, Roy will censor that for me. I've gotten so much wrong. I have wronged people. I have been wronged. And now I'm on a journey to say, first of all, Janet, forgive yourself and then forgive others, which is hard. There's some people I really don't want to forgive. I'm pissed at them. Hello. Not this guy. Are you okay? Is Marley sleeping?
Yeah.
Is he sleeping?
Yeah.
Is he sleeping? Is he strong?
Yeah.
So I'm doing a video.
Can I come? Can I?
Yeah, well, it's a bit personal. Can you give me a few minutes to finish it and then...
No, I want to stay video.
Okay, let's see if there's anything else that is child-friendly on my list. Okay.
Daddy,
Okay, then just sit near me.
I want to take a picture of you.
Yeah, you've noticed Huru's been taking pictures of me and he's good. Wait, Huru. Okay.
This is that.
And then there's stop it. Can I please do my video? That was a pleasant interruption. Marley is resting. But I don't think he can hear me from where I am, so if I've lowered my voice, it's just because now I don't want to wake him. And so yeah, I thought Huru was clearly, he woke up earlier than I expected. So let me continue until my little sweet Marley wakes up. Come say hi. Come say hi. Come say hi. Ow. Say hello.
Oh.
Are you fine? Say, I'm fine.
Oh.
Hello. Marley just turned 1.5. He's a bright boy. Okay, first of all, we all love our kids. This boy is so sweet. He's got such a good heart. I'm like, please stay this way. He's intuitive. He's very kind. He always wants to share. Are you going to share the tissues with me? This one. Can I have one? Never change. Never. I need to record a video, my angel, and then we play. What's wrong? That's a camera. You want this one? What's that? Door. It's here. Okay, I need to record, baby. I'm doing a 5 things on my mind. Yes? Okay, it's here. Okay. So the other thing you may not know about me is, or maybe you may have noticed about me is, I clap back. People, the other day, somebody said, oh, now, sometimes you're so controversial. I said, no, that is the kind of, I think, patriarchy or patriarchal thinking that is present in men and women, where once somebody speaks their mind, they're being controversial. Absolutely not. And it sounds strange that I'm talking about this, but honestly, me coming into my own has been such a work in progress, trying to figure out what pisses me off, what makes me happy, what I deserve, what I don't. I've punished myself a lot, and I think a lot of people have and continue to. And where I am now is coming out of that, whatever that looks like, whatever that's going to look like in days to come. My intentions have been understood or misunderstood. And that's okay. Some people have really wronged me. I've wronged some people. Some people have done right by me. I've done right by them. And for a while, it was a very difficult thing to grasp. And then I woke up one day and I said, I am not pizza. I am not here on earth to make everybody happy. I will be a villain in somebody's story and I will be the hero in somebody else's story. By the way, we are all the villain in somebody's story and the hero in somebody's story. It just depends on how people take you, what kind of experiences you've had with them, how you have made peace with that experience that you've had with them. It's a good place to be. It's painful. It's a painful process, but it's a good place to be. The place of, I am imperfect, but I'm good with that, and I'm figuring out how to be better. So yeah, I just think it's something I embrace. I urge everyone to. I feel like that requires a whole other conversation. But yeah, I mean, if you come at me, I think I will clap back, more likely. I don't always have to, but sometimes you're coming onto my space and spewing some dirt that makes no sense and has no right to be there. Sometimes I'll be quiet, sometimes I won't. So it's just the journey of coming into one's own. And I think, like I said, having spent so many years with a certain perception of life or a certain way that I thought people wanted to perceive me, it's really great to come into my own and say, this is who I am. I love standing up for people, especially because there's so many people who need to be stood up for in this country, in this world. I do believe in gender equality. There is no reason why, because somebody is a woman, she doesn't deserve the same access to rights. Equity is as important. Everybody deserves to be at the same level. Persons who are differently abled, men, women, boys, girls. And wherever I see a gap, I'll speak on it. And sometimes I may not get it right, but where I can, I will speak on it because it's important. And if somebody decides it's not my place to, that's their problem, not mine. I have a mind. I want to use it. I have a platform that I have really begun to treasure in terms of the kind of messaging to get across there. And I welcome you guys to do the same. We may not always agree, but if we can disagree fairly, let's do that. Matusi, not allowed. When somebody starts talking smack and being abusive, I'll just block you. It's the easiest way to teach you not to come onto somebody's timeline and say the wrong thing. But I now know that social justice and development is something that is very close to me, and I'm still trying to figure out and navigate the best way to galvanize more people into that journey, because we need all of you to be a part of that side of history, which is standing on the side that says everyone deserves access to the same rights. Everybody deserves justice. Everybody deserves fairness. And yes, we are called toxic feminists. That's on you. If it makes you sleep better, go ahead and say that. But it keeps me up at night saying or knowing that things could actually change. We could begin to change mindsets. We could begin to influence policy and change the way things are done and change the way education is approached and gender issues and healthcare. If all of us are standing on the side that says we deserve better, if you're men and women and your children who are watching this and you feel like we deserve better, then we need to stand up for that, and all of us amplify our voices in our spaces and say that's what we need to do, because that is what we need to do. So here's to having more detailed and call to action conversations on the road to justice and fairness that we all need to be fighting for, whether it's going to be in the form of the Instagram lives I do, my YouTube videos, really trying to find people I can connect with and have these conversations with. If it's something you think you're interested in, please let me know. There is a whole other question on feminism that I'm going to link my London vlog video, and there's a comment there that where a woman mentioned that she never she doesn't feel like a feminist because she doesn't feel like she belongs. And the response to that was somebody saying, you folks who say that need to understand that there's a patriarchy that you may be supporting and you don't want to be called out on it. Those comments really need an entire conversation on their own. So I'm not going to do that now. But if you do want us to have a conversation on how we can get more people on board in the fight for gender rights and human rights and healthcare and justice, comment down below and let me know if that's something you'd want to do, and I can figure out if we'll do it on Instagram Live or wherever we'll do it. Let's just start having the conversation. It's really important. I feel like that's where I can go right now. Maybe this is part 1 of things to know about me, etc. So I'm gonna end this video here. I feel like it's all over the place. Maybe it's just a little catch-up video, what's weighing on me. And maybe I will end with the one thing that, as I record this video, it's the 3rd of April. I don't know when it will go up. I don't know in which form it will take. But where we can we please garner donations towards care package and relief for families in informal settlements. I cannot believe that governments across Africa are not prioritizing this. Put all your money there. Put all the money in making sure that families are covered. You can't say stay home and somebody's staying home to no food, looking at their children, looking at them. Put all the funds there in covering them, in cushioning families right now. And then we go on lockdown. And then we flatten this curve and we move on with our lives. I'm sorry if I'm simplifying it too much, but please, oh my goodness, if you have access to a number or an email or a social media handle that you can direct this to, can we all make noise and say, put the money where the people need it? Let's do that. Let's meet on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Let's meet there every day and just figure out how we're going to do this together. This is a war and we're all the soldiers, so we need to rise up. I'm gonna go now. I have no idea where this video will go, but I feel so good that I've done it. So thank you for indulging me. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys soon.